Hello and welcome. In this episode we are going to tackle a very common problem. How to set secure passwords for our users. One interesting library I discovered these days is ZXCVBN and is made by the guys from Dropbox. In case you are wondering how they came up with such an, let's say, interesting name, is the sequence made of these keys. And yes, a lot of users are setting this as a password. Coming back, this library provides a fast way to evaluate how secure a password is. It does not only checks for general security patterns, like a minimum length or a specific number of alphanumeric characters, but also more advanced stuff, like not using default words from the standard dictionary or common used passwords. In the starting files for this project, after the standard npm install, I will run npm install ZXCVBN and add the -save flag at the end. After the installation is done, I can write npm start and we are good to go. When we run the initial app, we will see this input. I know this should be declared of type password, but for now, I will just leave it to text to be able to see what we type in here. Keep in mind that this is a control react input, so here you can see the corresponding state declaration and this onChange handler that just reads the password, does a console log and updates the state. For example, now if I start to write something, we will see the output in the console. Having the library installed at the previous step, I can now add the import statement for it. It's quite straightforward to use this library. First, I will make a new constant called evaluation, and next use this ZXCVBN object and send the password. Finally, I will console log the evaluation and delete the formal console log of the password. Let's get a look at the result. If I type test as a password, I will get this output. In this object, we have all kinds of information. For example, in the feedback, we get a list of suggestions of what we can do to make our password more secure. Also here, you will see some statistics about how long it will take for this password to be cracked using some different approaches. And maybe the most important metric is this score. This is a value ranging from 0 to 4 and is telling us the overall security level of our password. With this in mind, I will go and add into the state the score from the evaluation and the suggestions from the feedback. We'll need to show them into the view. So next, I will use a distractor to retrieve the score and the suggestions from the state. The score will be displayed here, and we'll also add this unordered list as the container for our suggestions. The suggestions are an array, so here I will take the suggestions and apply a map. This map will be manipulated by this arrow function that will return a li element with a suggestion. If we save, this arrow will pop. This is happening because we are trying to access the suggestions, but we don't have a default value for it on the state. To fix it, I will just initialize the suggestions to an empty array. Finally, we'll also need to add in here that the key equals index in order to avoid the famous React warning, each child should have a unique key. And with this, we should be good to go. For example, in here, if I type test as a password, of course I will get 0 as a security score. Test with a capital T will only bring us a new warning. Capitalizations not helping too much. With some extra repeated characters, we will increase the score, but it will also tell us not to repeat words or characters. And finally, if we go completely random, we will increase the security level to 3 and 4. As we said, this library uses dictionaries to identify common words. But the cool stuff is that we can plug in our own custom words. For example, let's say upon registration, someone sets his username to JSCraftDaniel25. This will get a nice security score of 4. However, this is not the best idea to have as a password, as is the same with the username. To deal with this case, I can add here an extra list of words, not to be set as passwords. And with this new setup, if I try to set my password to be the same as the username, I will get a score of 0. Now, of course, we can never build an unbreakable password. But with this extra layer of security, we can definitely improve things. If you have some questions, let me know in the comments below. I'm Daniel, thanks for watching and see you the next time.